and where this is the second part of chapter 2. So we talk about how bitachon Hashem is guaranteed. The word bitachon in Hebrew language means security. Bitachon, security. It has to be defined as something that is very strong, safe, and a trait that is very secure. And just as might, many people might misinterpret bitachon, they might also misinterpret emunah, thinking that it's merely just a vague feeling, but it is very different. Rabbi Nachman teaches us that emunah is a powerful attribute, and somebody that lives in life with having emunah will live a very strong life. For example, if you were to take a very large loan out of the bank, um, they wouldn't just take your word for it and say, "Okay, you know what? We'll just give you this money." They want some security, right? You can't just tell the bank, "Trust me, everything's going to be fine." Essentially, you have to prove yourself. And so, a life of Munam Bitachon is a life of tranquility, as we've seen. For one knows that they have someone truly to rely on. Even when the world seems to be turned completely upside down, the person with bitachon remains very calm and very relaxed, unfazed, grounded. He places his trust in Hashem, who's with him in every circumstance. And only bitachon provides this true and lasting security, giving him deep trust and genuine peace and rest. Now, there's a topic that Rav Shalom Arush brings up called cash is king. And, when people say, oh, cash is king, they say that because their bank accounts can be frozen, their credit cards might be declined, their checks might bounce. So it seems that cash might be the safest bet. But what our sages are teaching us is that having bitachon is a lot more, is a lot stronger than having a large sum of money. Because money can also be lost, it can be stolen, it can be taken from you, or it simply just may not be enough. But someone who has bitachon, he lives without fear. He knows that nobody can harm him because he is essentially a child of Hashem. And so he rests securely knowing that he'll be fine. And he doesn't just hope on a bright future, like we said earlier in the last class. He doesn't choose to live just with optimism. Rather, he lives with certainty that he's going to have a good life. And this is a fact. Bitachon means, and as it's quoted, even when I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. I have no fear at all. So, what gives bitachon? We know that it has to be something that is given, a trust that it's given in Hashem alone. Hashem needs to know everything, your needs, the needs of every creation, what's truly good for you, and He must be powerful and unstoppable. One thing that I'm trying to do, and it's very difficult, but it's very important, is to do itbodedut. And you have a moment every day where you have a couple of minutes or even an hour, half an hour, whatever time you can give to speak to Hashem and talk to Hashem and tell Hashem what is it, what your needs are. And so He can hear it from you and hear your prayers and communicate with Him directly. You don't need any intermediaries. And bitachon must be built on a strong foundation of emunah. If you're lacking bitachon, it's a sign that you usually have to enhance your emunah, because one cannot be without the other. And so attaining to elevate these foundations and attaining emunah bitachon has to be our life mission. Throughout life, we learn, build, strengthen, and acquire this emunah and bitachon. And the more bitachon we cultivate, the higher quality of life we're going to have. Bitachon has 7 foundations which are important for us to review on a daily basis. These 7 are listed as the following. 1, I place my bitachon in Hashem alone, for He always loves and treats me with endless kindness. And 2, I place my bitachon in Hashem alone, for he's always watching over me, and he's always going to take care of my needs, whether they're big or whether they're small. And 3, I place my bitachon in Hashem alone, for only He is able to be powerful, unstoppable, and fulfill all my needs. Number 4, I place my bitachon in Hashem alone, for He only knows what is truly good for me. 5, I place my bitachon in Hashem alone, for He's been with me from the beginning of my life until this very day, and I recognize His kindness. And He will not abandon me in the future. Number 6, I place my bitachon in Hashem alone, for I am in His hands like a servant in the hands of his master. No one can harm me or help me without His will. And number 7, I place my bitachon in Hashem alone, for He's good and merciful. His kindness, His compassion, is infinite, even those who feel that are maybe unworthy. And His graciousness is never going to end. So, to summarize, bitachon is something that has to be done with absolute certainty. And we have to build up our emunah to reach that level of bitachon. Thank you very much, and have yourself a wonderful day.